Hello, my name is Blake Baxter, and I'm the Media Relations Coordinator and Sports Information Director at Eureka College. Today I'm joined by Debi Neff, the head coach of the Eureka College softball team, and we're here to catch up a little bit on softball and life in general. Debi, it's really good to see you. I think the last time I saw you was when your season got disrupted by the pandemic, and that was obviously a really strange time. So how have you been since then, and what have the past few months been like for you?
Well, truthfully, Blake, it seems like it's been about 10 years since I've seen you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the summer is obviously moving right along. I've been doing a little mowing, gardening. I travel home to see my mom quite a bit. And gosh, I talk to recruits and watch film and try to stay in contact with all my kids at the same time on GroupMe, which is kind of nice. Yesterday, my captain texted me and said, "Coach, I just got done baling hay, 2 1/4 trailers full." And she goes, "I'm exhausted." And so I shot back a question to her, round or square, meaning round bales or square bales. And she goes, "Square." So I knew she had a really good workout yesterday. So they know I love the farm. So if there's any farm questions or any farm things, they have to let me know about it.
So could you tell me a little bit about what you thought of the spring break trip and what your assessment of the team was at that point in the year?
Wow, the spring break trip was just incredible. It's so hard to explain because before we left, about probably 3 or 4 days, it got to be where all of a sudden this COVID business was coming out, and nobody knew a lot about it, of course. And so I just made a decision that we were flying, and I said, well, we're going to wear masks and rubber gloves, just because no one knew how we were getting it, or if we were going to get it, or anything. So I thought that would probably be a wise decision. I'm not sure my players liked that decision, but they cooperated and did it anyway. We got to Myrtle Beach, and more noise was coming out about it. And the first few games went great. We were shaking hands at the end, going through the line, and all that kind of thing. But by the end of our 10 games, we were waving. So that quickly it had moved from, not knowing a whole lot about it to don't touch hands, don't do anything. So the parents were great. They were getting us hand sanitizers. I mean, just everything they could do to try to help.
And how did you feel about how your team played down there? You went 8-2.
I was very happy with our play. We had not been on dirt yet, and that's huge because we'd been practicing, on the football turf here at Eureka, and that's great. But I think getting bounces, especially on the infield, is so much different than regular dirt. And even though we were in Myrtle Beach and we had great diamonds to play on, it's still a lot different how a ball can flatten out. And I was probably most concerned about our catchers. We had two freshman catcher and a junior catcher, and I really didn't know what the freshmen were going to do, to be honest, because I really hadn't seen them catch a game other than in practice. So I just didn't know what they were going to do, and I think our pitchers were a little apprehensive with them too, because here I had Erin, who was a veteran, and she had high expectations, and I'm sure she was a little concerned. But after the first game, I said, well, she goes, they did fine. They did fine. So I knew then, that was okay. And Erin can help call her own game too if she has to. Obviously, she can, call them out and shake off a pitch. But the rest of the team were, very experienced and veterans. So I thought, all in all, we made some tremendous plays. We probably didn't get the bunt down in some situations where I really felt we should have. And I'm a strong believer in the short game. So I was probably a little disappointed with that in some situations, but for the most part, I was very happy, and I think our seniors were happy, and the team felt a little bit more relaxed after they got a couple games under their belt. So all in all, I'd say a good solid B.
That's a tough grading scale.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, they know that. My kids, they know I expect, 100%, and, you know, we no mental errors.
And you mentioned some of your veteran players that had great careers at Eureka didn't get a chance to really finish their careers the way they wanted to or on the field at all. Didn't get a chance to have a traditional senior day. So, do you want to talk a little bit about the senior class and what they accomplished at Eureka?
Well, uh, gosh, I think this could be a 2-hour conversation. Um, Obviously, with two All-Americans and, the SLIAC Pitcher of the Year, we basically had a trifecta. We had speed, pitching, and power. Um, as a coach, those three things are very important, and I think they would have carried us quite a ways this year. Sid Schubert and Morgan Ledbetter, and Aaron Smith. I can't say enough positive compliments about them. They're just true competitors, and they all compete in different ways. I kind of make fun of Sid when she'd make an out, which was like 1 out of every 30 chances, it seemed like.
Mm-hmm.
But she'd make an out. I kind of mocked her a few times, just to show the kids what I saw when she walked into the dugout. But she storms through the dugout. She's so mad at herself, and gets herself under control. So I have a tendency to watch her do that instead of watching the batter once in a while, just to kind of smile because she's such a competitor. Erin is quiet on the mound. She's not very vocal, but she is a very fierce competitor. When you walk out into the mound, and I'll say, Erin, after pitching like 90 pitches or something, I go, are you getting tired? Nope, I'm fine. So she's just a solid competitor, and obviously, her work ethic is very good too. She was a catcher in high school, and so we kind of turned her into a pitcher. She had pitched a little bit, but not a lot. So I said, Erin, we kind of need you to pitch. So she got her feet wet her freshman year and just continued to get better and better. So a lot of accolades go to her, because really a big change in positions, which from catcher to pitcher is pretty tough because it's total different motion, as you know. So I was really impressed with what all she did, and then, with Sid behind her in center, I think she was, especially relaxed, hitting a fly ball out there, especially in center. We were able to field it, and, she had a lot of confidence in all her players. So that was a good thing for her. And then there's Morgan. She's more of a free spirit. She's smiles and butterflies. She just is pretty happy-go-lucky, but she does not like to lose. And so inside of her is a fierceness too that is incredible. Some of the home runs I saw her hit, I'd never seen before in softball, throughout my career and throughout playing. And just line drive shots, some of them, a couple people would say, Coach, I think that went about 240, 250. I'm like, oh my gosh, just incredible power. And, as much as people watched her home runs, she was a really good first baseman. So those three are just um, super players. And more importantly, they're better people. They do the right thing. They're kind. They try to help younger kids, and they just want the best from everybody.
Switching gears here a little bit, Debbie, you've also had a tremendous coaching career without even counting your experience at Eureka. So, off the top of your head, what are some of your favorite coaching experiences and memories?
Like, that is really a difficult question, because when you look back, sometimes it's a blur. I mean, just even looking back at this year, it's a huge blur because it seems like so long ago. But I'd have to say, obviously, last year's SLIAC conference championship, and then going on to the NCAA's. I mean, that was a super highlight because, I coached in high school. quite a while, and then I kind of wanted to coach in college, but I never knew if I you know if I was going to have the opportunity. But I'd have to say that's my biggest highlight as far as something happening. But truthfully, watching kids compete and watching kids do well and succeed, and after they've set their goals to meet their goals, I mean, just to watch a kid smile through their eyes, you just can't beat that. And I think that comes from teaching. When you see kids get it after a while, and that's probably been one of the best things that I can say that's happened through my career, is just watching the individuals uh, be successful in doing something. And it didn't have to always be on the field, but it might be getting A's in the classroom, or doing well in the classroom, or any things like that may always made me happy. And at East Peoria, when I coached there, a good thing too was watching kids play hard throughout their career and then receive a scholarship, an athletic scholarship from a college, and that was very rewarding, because softball is such a passion to me, and I felt like if I could pass that passion on a little bit, that would be perfect.
How did you fall in love with softball in the first place?
Well, I have two brothers that I grew up with on the farm, and I played baseball with them pretty much every day during the summer. Of course, fall it was football, and winter it was basketball. But they would take me out in the yard, of course, and we play the games and blah blah blah. And they would say, "You cry, you're going in the house, and we're never going to play with you again." So being on the farm, it was either play with them or ride my horse. I mean, there wasn't a lot of opportunity to do a lot of things. So I decided at a young age that I like sports a lot. So I'd have to credit my brothers with giving me that passion. And my dad played semi-pro baseball. So, I just grew up around a sports family, and he gave me his catching mitt when for my first glove, because when he got done playing semi-pro, he started playing softball. So that got me into the softball world a little bit more, and he gave me a catcher's mitt with absolutely no padding, but I still started with that. Didn't want to be a catcher, um, but that's what I used out in the field, and even pitching. I taught myself how to pitch against the grain bin. I just put a little square on the grain bin, and would pitch and pitch and pitch.
Do you have anything else that you'd like to talk about, or anything that you want to say to the Red Devil fans out there watching?
I'm sure happy that I've been given that opportunity to coach at Eureka. I've enjoyed it thoroughly, and I'm just happy I've got to meet so many people and get into a little bit different atmosphere. I I can't say enough about all the people that I have met there, and how happy that I am able to, go to a job that I love and coach a sport that I am very passionate about. I know I'm lucky to be where I'm at, and I'm sure proud of the product that we've been putting on the field, because I think it's grown since we've started, and we want to continue to get better and keep going back to the SLIAC tournament and giving ourselves opportunity to compete and to win. I can't say enough about all the kids that I've coached. They've just been um, wonderful. I'm so proud of them, and how well they've done, not only on the field, but some of them going on into their careers and things, and we keep in touch, and it's very rewarding as a coach to hear a very positive story from the kids, and that makes my day pretty much. And so I just want to thank Eureka College for giving me this opportunity, and hopefully we can bring a few more championships to Eureka. Hum Devils.
All right, I think that's a great note to end on. Thanks so much, Debbie.
You're welcome. Have a good day, Blake.